Hello friends, Jai Shri Krishna. Today the fundamental unit of life cell part 3. Okay, the topic is cell and plasma membrane. This is the diagram of plasma membrane. This particles is known as phospholipids and this circle represents the head of phospholipids, also known as hydrophilic, means they are water loving, and opposite V represent tail, and other name is hydrophobic, means water hated, and this point and line represents cholesterol, and this sign represents sugar, and at the end this represents extrinsic protein, and in the between this represents intrinsic protein. First one, biochemical study reveals that cell of plasma membrane contains lipid, protein and carbohydrate. Their ratio of protein, lipid and carbohydrate vary in different types of cells, like RBC in plant case, difference between RBC in plant case and RBC in human case. Okay, first lipid, ratio of lipid in RBC in plant case is 14 to 42% and lipid percent in human case is 40%, and protein in plant case is 70 to 58%, and in human case protein is 52%. In plant case carbohydrate is only 1 to 2%, and in human case carbohydrate is 7 to 8%. Second, cell membrane is selectively permeable because it allows entry of certain substances. It is a living flexible membrane. The thickness of cell membrane is 6 to 8 micrometers. Several models have been proposed regarding the arrangement of proteins and lipids, but the most acceptable model of cell membrane is fluid mosaic model. This is the diagram of fluid mosaic model, and this model is given by the Singer and Nicholson. In 1972. This is the latest and most widely accepted model of the structure of the cell membrane. Fifth one, some substances like carbon dioxide or oxygen can move across the cell membrane by a process called diffusion. It is composed of lipid bilayer of phospholipids molecules into rich proteins are embedded. 7. According to this model, proteins are arranged in phospholipids layer as mosaic pattern. Those membrane is termed as protein iceberg in a sea of phospholipids. This is the diagram of protein iceberg in a sea of phospholipids. This is the iceberg of protein and this is the sea of phospholipids. 8th point. Each phospholipid molecule has two ends, and outer head is hydrophilic, means water attracting, and the second is the inner tail hydrophobic, means water repelling. And 9th one, protein molecules are arranged in two ways. Peritracal proteins or extrinsic proteins are present on the outer and inner surface of lipid bilayer, while integral proteins or intrinsic protein are embedded inside lipid bilayer partially or completely. 8th point. Some keywords related to the fluid mosaic model. First is phospholipid. It is the main component of the cell membrane because it forms continuous structural frame of the cell membrane. Cell membrane is composed of lipids that are arranged in bilayer. Also, the lipids are arranged within the membrane with the polar heads, means hydrophilic towards the outside and the tail hydrophobic towards the inside. The lipid component of the membrane is mainly consists of phospholipids is phosphoglycerides. Phospholipid layer provide fluidity to the cell membrane because phospholipids are rich in unsaturated fatty acids which are liquid in nature. The quasi-fluid nature of lipid enable later movement of extrinsic protein within the overall bilayer. This ability to move within the membrane is measured as its fluidity. The fluid nature of membrane is also important in various functions like cell growth, formation of intercellular, endocytosis, secretion and cell division, etc. This ensures that the tail of the saturated and unsaturated hydrocarbons is protected from the environment. You know, this is the diagram of phospholipid. This is the head, means hydrophilic, means water loving or attracting. And this is the mirror image of V, means tail. And this is the mirror image of V. Okay, means tail, means hydrophobic, means water repellent or hated. Second point. First is the phospholipid, and second is the cholesterol. Cholesterol are present in plasmodesmata. In next part, we will learn about what is plasmodesmata also. Okay. It is more rigid than phospholipids. It has instability of membrane structure. Cholesterol is absent in prokaryote membrane. Hopephoids provide stability to the prokaryotic cell membrane. Okay, cholesterol is absent in prokaryotic membrane. Cholesterol is not always evenly distributed. It can form raft domains within the membrane, which are regions rich in cholesterol and specific lipids and proteins, influencing membrane structure and functions. And this is the symbol of cholesterol. Thank you friends. Jai Shri Krishna. Please subscribe my channel, hit the bell icon and like my videos. Thank you.